Hello, friends. My co-host Melanie and I are going to take a look at how Donald Trump has turned both his niece and nephew against him.
He's looked at me as somebody who can contribute meaningfully to the future of the country, so he asked me to be his running mate. This is not a vengeful guy. The media lies about Donald Trump more than anybody I've ever seen in public life. He's a good grandfather. He's a good father. He likes the American people and loves this country, and this is why he's doing it.
Oh, where to begin? Where to begin? First of all, James David, Donald Trump has got to be rethinking his decision to bring you onto the ticket because, you're just weird, man. Just real talk. Second, not a vengeful guy. His unofficial 2016 campaign slogan was "Lock her up." And third, your evidence that he's not a vengeful guy is that he allegedly is a big family man. Well, about that. A new book today by one of Trump's nephews, Fred Trump III, the son of Trump's late brother, Fred Jr., provides an inside look into the Trump family and the actions of Donald himself that refute JD's claims, including when Donald Trump cut off the medical insurance for Fred's disabled newborn son. That happened after Fred and his sister Mary Trump, who you've no doubt seen on this network and this show, and who wrote her own tell-all book a few years ago, sued their Uncle Donald and their other uncles and aunts when they tried to steal Fred and Mary's inheritance following the death of their grandfather and Donald Trump's father, Fred Sr. Yep. Sounds like quite the family guy, that Donald. Joining me now is Fred Trump III, author of All in the Family, The Trumps, and How We Got This Way. Fred, thank you so much for being here. Let me read a little excerpt from your book. And this is the part where Trump responds when it became public that he cut off the medical insurance for your son, for his disabled grandnephew. When the reporter asked if he thought he might be coming across as just a little cold-hearted given our son's medical condition, my uncle shot back, "I can't help that. It's cold when someone sues my father." Is this the way that your uncle always was with your family, or did it change when your son was born and when his parents died?
Donald has always had that streak in him of needing to win at all costs. And when Mary and I challenged him and my aunts and other Uncle Robert, he couldn't accept that. It would have been nice if he was just gracious and said, "Hey, you guys are going through something unimaginable." But he couldn't bring himself to do that. So it's too bad.
Yeah, I've got another excerpt here. This is after an Oval Office meeting with Fred, with you, and advocates for individuals with disabilities and their families. And this is what he said. This is a quote. "Those people," Donald said, trailing off, "the shape they're in, all the expenses, maybe those kinds of people should just die. I truly did not know what to say." He was talking about expenses. We were talking about human lives. And there's one more book excerpt, and this is even closer to home. Donald, this is from your book. Donald took a second as if he was thinking, and this was about your own son. And Donald took a second and as if he was thinking about the whole situation. "I don't know," he finally said, letting out a sigh. "He doesn't recognize you. Maybe you should just let him die," and moved down to Florida. That is as callous as it gets. That is as ugly as it gets. What was your relationship to him after that? And I don't even know, just express your thoughts on that, if you could.
Well, I mean, it's hard to explain how someone could say that about any human being, least of all his grandnephew. The interesting part, Joy, is that Donald never met William. So he didn't know or understand the inspiration William has been to so many people. So heartless is certainly a way to describe it, but that unfortunately is what I think we're seeing Donald has morphed into over the years. Interesting to go back to the Oval Office story. We were in fact talking about better efficiencies in advocating for the complex disability community, meaning in efficiency, spending less and getting more for it. So that he brought up expenses was a little surprising to me.
Yeah. There is evidence that Donald Trump has a sort of revulsion toward disabled people. He didn't want to, be near Bob Dole, who had a disability from being a war hero. He made fun of and mocked a disabled reporter. Is that it? He just really is just disgusted by people who are disabled?
He does not have an affinity for folks that he deems to be lesser than him. And I think we're seeing that not just with disabled, any group of people that he feels below him. And as I've been saying, he will use people as pawns and then cast them aside when he gets the goal that he's trying to achieve.
Does that include
Fred Trump III, the nephew of former President Donald Trump, has made headlines by endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris for the 2024 presidential election. His endorsement, announced during a recent appearance on The View, has stirred significant media attention, especially given his familial ties to one of the most polarizing figures in modern American politics. Fred Trump III, the son of Donald Trump's late brother Fred Trump Jr., expressed his support for Kamala Harris, emphasizing his belief in policy over politics. He stated, "Without question, Kamala Harris's policies are what I get behind, so I will be voting for Kamala Harris." He further added that he would campaign for Harris if asked, underscoring his commitment to her candidacy. This endorsement is particularly notable as it comes from within the Trump family, which has been largely supportive of Donald Trump. Fred's public support for Harris aligns with his sister, Mary Trump's stance, who has also been a vocal critic of their uncle. In addition to his endorsement, Fred Trump III has made serious allegations against Donald Trump, particularly concerning his views on individuals with disabilities. These claims are detailed in Fred's new memoir, All in the Family: The Trumps and How We Got This Way, which provides an insider's perspective on the Trump family dynamics. Fred recounts a disturbing incident where Donald Trump allegedly suggested that disabled Americans should just die due to the expenses and challenges associated with their care. This conversation reportedly took place in the context of discussing Fred's son, William, who was born with a rare genetic mutation requiring extensive medical care. Fred's memoir reveals that Donald Trump cut off medical insurance for William, a decision that had severe implications for Fred's family.